Let's shoot the breeze. Share your hottest take with Robert Kemper. Let's restore our freedoms to former glory. Anglo-Saxon vibes, rolling green fields. The West was the best, and again it shall be. On the far side of the world, a product of the empire, the sun never fully set. Britannia again ruled the waves. Join the warrior of light. Share your thoughts. The tyrants shall be vanquished. Chats with Rob. Make it England. Chats with Rob. Make it mass. Chats with Rob. Make it your nation.
Let the breeze. Share your hottest take with
Let's shoot the breeze. Share your hottest take with Robert Kemper. Let's restore our freedoms to former glory. Chats with Rob. Anglo-Saxon vibes, rolling green fields. The West was the best car, and again it shall be. From the far side of the world, a product of the empire. The sun never fully set. Britannia again rule the waves. Join the warrior of light. Share your thoughts. The tyrants shall be vanquished. Chats with Rob. Might be England. Chats with Rob. Might be mass. Chats with Rob. Might be yours. Chats with Rob. Might be England.
Hello.
All right, we are here with the great and powerful Tharium. Thank you for coming on, sir. How have you been?
I'm good. Was that your song?
So I wrote the lyrics. It's an AI generation, though. Yeah, I wrote the lyrics, but that's all I did. So I just pumped it into an AI, and then yeah, that came out.
AI is very good at this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unfortunate how good AI really is. The predicament that we're in right now.
I mean, it's still quite stupid, but music is like, wasn't it some guys figured out like the algorithm to music a while ago? You can. So
what do you mean by the algorithm to music? What do you mean?
Like they came up with like this sort of structure of a song. You have like these beats, and this goes like this. I'm sure I've read about it somewhere. And so it's like music is very mathematical in how you sort of structure it. So
yeah, I mean, like
figure that out.
Sorry, I'm speaking over you, but I mean, was it Mozart? Who am I thinking of? Not Mozart. Mozart was more of a free spirit, but I'm thinking of the other German composer, the
Beethoven?
famous, Beethoven. He was a very mathematical-minded person. I think, in general, I agree. I think music is mathematical, but I would also push back on that because I think like mathematics doesn't equal creativity, right? So in order to actually create something, you can't just be good at math. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. You stick some words in the AI, and the AI pumps out a decent song.
Yeah, but I mean, you're so against AI. I mean, I am also against AI, by the way. I think it's a tragedy that I could even make these intro songs. I think if AI didn't exist, I'd probably have to put more effort into actually making good music for my intro, right? But I just pumped in some lyrics because I'm good at lyrics, not necessarily music. And then that came out. And, is that a tragedy? I guess it kind of is because, like, it would have been better if I spent more time doing something better. I'm not sure,
I'm okay with it. I'm just like I just don't see AI progressing all that much beyond silly stuff, really.
Right. Yeah. I heard I think it was on, well, I can't remember where you said it, but it was one of the interviews with the folks in our scene. And you said that this Lovecraft story, you told this,
Nyala Throtep, yeah.
yeah, about how basically it's like it's an old story. The Brothers Grimm, the tale of the rats, the Pied Piper, right? There's this person that comes in and kind of, through illusion, basically hypnotizes everyone in the town, and then they follow this person to hell, basically, or to death, or to ultimate tragedy. Which, I incredible, absolutely based and absolutely true. Tharium, this is why I wanted you on here, because you come up with these, what would you call them? Scathing kind of takes. Like some of your clips on Anglo Gang. Sorry, let me just glaze you a bit more. I hate that fucking term, by the way. I should never have used that. Let me just tell you why you're you should be listened to. Sorry, I'm talking again. Sorry, continue.
I just have a lot of hatred for everything. It fuels me.
You're like Bane. You're like Bane. You're like the ultimate.
Yeah.
The darkness molded me. Yeah. Find someone in the Wreckage Brothers. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But there has to be more to life, Tharium.
No, hate sustains me. It goes a long way. It's like, I mean, the AI stuff, can make fun music and stuff, but like, our buddy SJJ thinks it's going to change the world and make him immortal. It's not going to. Although, that said, the immortality thing, I do have one real nightmare, and that AI is going to figure out immortality just in time to save the fucking boomers. That's just going to be the worst.
That will be ultimate hell. Yeah. No, I'm completely in agreement. Yeah, but I guess then it's like, we could possibly do our own thing and still live under the boomer New World Order or something. I don't know. That's my only hope. But equally, I think they should die, and they are actually already dying. So
at last, right?
Fucking it's been too long. They've spent too much time at Woodstock. This is the problem I have with the boomers. It's like, the ultimate libertarian freedom that what you know what what the idea of freedom from the English gave the boomers was Woodstock, right? And they're
Mhm.
still living in Woodstock, and yet they're still making money, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
confusing to me. I
Yeah.
think it's like the metaphor is basically, when you're on top, it's like I told this. Well, I've been telling this story for hundreds of fucking hours to various people on Twitter, but the ultimate kind of tragedy of Western civilization is victory sickness, right? Have you heard of this
Mm.
term, victory sickness?
Yeah. Victory has defeated you. Peace has robbed you of your
Right, yeah,
strength,
right,
brother.
exactly. Yeah. But we don't, we also don't want like Bane World, or do we? I don't know. Like, what is Bane
I
World?
don't know. I could do Bane World for a bit. Bane World.
Yeah,
Bane
at
World
least
would,
for a bit. Okay,
Bane World
yeah,
would
I'll give you
sort
that.
out the boomers. Your gluttony will no longer be tolerated.
yeah.
And I mean,
I,
like the
I guess
boomers.
that, like, who is Bane in that story? Because
I'm Bane.
you're Bane. Yeah, you're Bane. But you have no power, despite the horse of victory, which is your profile picture. You have literally no power.
No, I put my hand on your shoulder and go, you think this gives you power over me, boomer? Your pensions mean nothing to me.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think of Greta Thunberg?
Psyop.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're some retarded little school child, and you get put shit into your heads about how the world's going to end in 5 years.
Possibly with socialist alcohol syndrome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's off. Her mother drunk as a with her. But so you stop going to school, and then all of a sudden you're in the UN giving speeches. Come on.
True.
Like,
Do you think that? I think there's a kind of a power to. This is a very Richard Spencer take, but there is a kind of a power to, like, Swedish socialism that is somehow exists beyond everything that's going on in the world. So let me kind of, like, put this in a more of a logical box. So, obviously Greta is like promoted by the NGOs and so on to get, like, I guess, like, be anti-capitalist and, like, be against, like, whatever's going on.
Mind you, her current thing, she's got that Henry V haircut and is crusading against the Jews. Maybe there is hope for her.
See, Tharium, this is what I'm talking about. These bangers that you just come out with, right? No one asked for this, but you just give it to them anyway. I mean, you have some of the most fire bangers. I mean, on the Anglo Gang, I mean, like, you could literally say nothing the whole stream, but every now and then you just come out with the most based fucking line that I don't. Again, I should stop this. Okay, Tharium. Let's get back to the interview. So here we are. We're on the Rob Chat show, number 2 with Tharium. So you live in Middle England, is this true, or
southeast?
Okay,
but what were you saying about I was
sorry.
interested in that. You're
Sorry,
talking
what?
You were talking about Swedish socialism.
Right, yeah. Well, Swedish socialism. So it's interesting because it was praised by the establishment for a long time. Like, these are the most happy people on earth, even though they're importing, everyone from around the world, blah, blah, blah. But there's still a power to it where, like Greta Thunberg is an example. I mean, ABBA was an example. I mean, maybe, you know, they didn't experience the same thing when ABBA was going off or whatever, but you know the band ABBA.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not like a great thing that like, we could all exist without ABBA, right? But the Swedes still, they still exert influence over the world, is what I'm saying. So, you know, it's kind of what is it? It's like it's something the establishment still wants to like. They want this thing to exist still. Do you know what I mean? Though I don't know where I'm going here with this, but
I think you mean like Sweden was the happy place, you know, where everyone can get along and be happy. So why can't the rest of the world be like that? And then you bring the rest of the world to Sweden, and well, you know, then it becomes the bomb attack capital of Europe. Great. This wasn't the plan. You were supposed to go on the magic soil and become Swedish.
Yeah, but I guess my point is with the whole Swedish socialist thing, I think they're using that as like the ultimate kind of. Again, it's the boomer thing where this is the ultimate goal. Really, is like the boomers actually do want like a socialist utopia, but they'll never kind of admit it. You know what I mean?
Well, look at what they've got at the moment. They like most of them are now on their pensions. So they've got their big fucking houses and they are making other people work to keep them. We are their slave labor. This is boomer paradise.
Exactly. I mean, it's like you know, who's the governor? Who is the former governor of California who was in the? Who was in the? See, this is a problem I have with my memory, but the fucking German who isn't a German.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Thank you. Yeah, and so Arnie, he was the ultimate kind of poster boy for what like American people could be, right? He was the 80s muscle man, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate immigrant, really, right? This is what all immigrants could be. Like they can, you know, come up from nothing from fucking Austria and then like just lift weights and
take
then
steroids,
become and cheat on his fucking wife with a maid or whatever.
Oh,
I mean, Bill Burr talked about this, right?
Yeah.
You know, why would you cheat on the maid?
Did you see the maid?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's.
What is
I
that?
don't even believe it.
You don't.
Was it real? I don't even believe that happened. To be honest,
have you seen the son though? It's definitely his son. So,
God.
But why do you trade down? Like this is the thing. Like, you know, you see these women who get pregnant, and the faces on some of them, like, but there is always some man who's willing to go there, and that, you know, we should do better as a gender. No, some of these hags, some of these hogs, right? Just leave them. They shouldn't be breeding.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Collective Dismal. Have you heard of this guy? He's on Twitter and YouTube. But he's a Canadian guy. He's a weightlifter. He's built. He's stacked. Whatever. He has like a girlfriend. He's engaged and so on and so forth. But he's like a prolific kind of, you know, he fucks a lot of women on the side, right? Mm-hmm. And mainly it's just, you know, he turns up and they kind of like recognize how built he is, and then he doesn't really have to work to you know, to engage in whatever it is that he wants to do, right? So, but for me, it's like, it's interesting because Collective is kind of the ultimate example of like the fall of the West. So he is like, you know, he's still trying to do the riding the tiger thing, right? I mean, that's ultimately what he's trying to do. Right? He's still riding the tiger, and yet, like, he talks about excess men. So he's a big kind of philosophy bro, right? So he talks about excess men, and he talks about if he had a daughter, he would kind of be ashamed because, you know, is his line going to continue through like his own efforts, or is it just because he had a daughter? So he considers like every man out there will try and fuck his daughter, right? Like, I mean, I don't want to like put words in his mouth, but that's what he's kind of getting at. And so, like, is it good to like have a daughter if that's all you have to give, in terms of like the next generation? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'd be happy to have a daughter as well, but is that all I have to give? Do you know what I'm saying, though? I don't know. It's getting weird here, but do you know what I'm getting at?
So is his problem? He'd be fine with the son, though.
Well, that's the whole point. The son is like something that you need to mold and really like pay attention to. Whereas the daughter, he's saying, well, I could fuck off and do whatever, and she's going to continue the line on no matter what I do, right? So what is better? It's like, do your genetics just continue, or are you going to teach your son like what is what, and that's what matters? Do you know what I mean, though?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really see how that matters if you're just concerned about your line surviving. It's going to go either way. Well, he's probably more likely with the daughter. So if you're concerned with living on, I guess a daughter's better. And you've still got to, you've got to teach her, don't, which like, pattern recognition when it comes to dating. But if he's like, I mean, if he's concerned about leaving a legacy, he should be doing stuff himself. The great men of history aren't really concerned about their kids. Plenty didn't have any kids.
Yeah, I mean but this is the kind of the ultimate struggle. Well, it's not the ultimate struggle. I mean, there's many struggles that we have to deal with, but I think the ultimate struggle is like the GA, right? The great, the GR, sorry.
Yeah.
The great, Anyway, so, yeah. But it's like, we can't, yeah. And so in his mind, continuing on, so what do you think about this idea? I think our great friend Brutus has talked about this because he's a Hindu, basically. He is many things. If we really believe in reincarnation, it means that we have to have offspring, right?
Does it?
At least in my mind, that's what it means, right? So, and it's a spiritual / physical thing. Right, so genes matter, and also what we do. So, what do you think about this idea? Do you think well, here's a more simple question: do you believe in reincarnation, or?
No. No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, okay. I'm not. Maybe it's real, maybe it isn't, but I'm more on the no.
Interesting. So, but how? So, do you just like you're a pure genetic man? Do you think our greatness continues on through our children, even if we don't reincarnate, or what's your take on that?
I kind of think you live on forever through your children.
Yeah. Okay. And that doesn't need reincarnation to happen, I guess. Obviously, right? It's
Yeah.
more of a physical. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I mean,
But you're a spiritual man. I
I'm
feel like, Tharium. You're not a
uh,
spiritual man.
I don't know you. That's a big question that I feel is a bit beyond me. I think maybe there's some sort of soul in us, something special. What happens after we die? I don't know. I mean, you do see there are weird stories like with people who sort of claim to have been reincarnated, and most of it is bullshit. Like there's 24 Napoleons currently alive, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
also agree that this is bullshit, by the way. I think,
yeah,
like, if, and the hilarious one was, there was this Tibetan that, was raised in Bhutan or whatever. And then the Dalai Lama went and visited him and he said, "You're going to be the new Dalai Lama," or whatever. It's like, okay, but you live like next door. Like, so what? You know what I mean?
but the Dalai Lama stuff. I think the test for that, if they're like the new one, is like they lay out a bunch of things that the previous Dalai Lama had, and then there's like if you pick the three right, if the child
Yeah.
picks the three right things, then they're it. I mean, that's just probability. So I'm not
Yeah.
so convinced about it.
Yeah.
But you do occasionally get weird stories. Like there was this one woman in the last century who English girl, and she went to a museum and she saw Ramesses or something from ancient Egypt, an ancient Egyptian pharaoh, the sort of what the display they had there. And she runs up to her, goes, and I know him. And she then sort of, and then as she gets older, she sort of decides she was in a previous life, she was an ancient Egyptian priestess. And then she sort of gets involved in that. And she picks up like ancient hieroglyphics really quickly.
Oh, okay.
And then she goes to Egypt and starts and gets sort of involved in their archaeology world. And she's really good at like on all these sites going, oh yes, this was how it was all laid out. Like she just knew stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I've heard a story from I think it was Germany, and he was like 6 or whatever, and he started talking about like the wars of the Holy Roman Empire, and he was naming generals and stuff like this, and it was like, what the fuck is going on here? And it was just not knowledge that a 6-year or 7-year-old could know.
Yeah.
So, mate, I mean, I don't know, but does that equal reincarnation? In my mind, it doesn't really. It just equals like we don't know enough about the world where we can make these grand statements. You know what I mean?
It could be some sort of psychic stuff. Like psychic stuff does seem real. I mean, the CIA and the KGB and stuff, they all did a lot of experiments into it. And there's a few people they found who they definitely had something about them. Like they could, like with the stuff they could see. Like there was this one guy who the CIA had, and they told him, look at what's at like one of these remote viewers. They said, what's at these coordinates? And he starts describing it, and he's going, it's like this big, and he describes this massive submarine, huge submarine. And it was way bigger than any submarine that existed. And so the CIA thought, nonsense. Turns out that was the Russian Typhoon submarine, this massive double thing. So he got that bang on.
Yeah. Do you think the Russians, like, I mean, during like the USSR, they were doing things right. They went to space apparently. They built the biggest nuke that could ever exist, the Tsar Bombar, and so on. Like, so do you think all of that was real or just American propaganda?
No, that was real. I
And they had
we've got video.
They had the biggest transport plane that could like cruise across the water.
Yeah.
They also built a massive fucking ship. Yeah,
we've got
okay.
videos of the Tsar bomb going off.
Yeah. But I guess my question is like, I mean, they've fallen now, right? So we don't have to argue about the Soviets anymore. But do you think that system also leads to greatness? I.e., like, this is one of the reasons why, like, AA is kind of a fan of Stalin and so on. Because I think AA is like all about what Western civilization can like do or whatever. Like he's big on like big things. That's kind of a retarded thing. But do you know what I mean though? Like, I don't know. Like there's an interesting thing about the USSR where, and I also think like obviously during World War II, like the majority of the commissars were kind of, of the tribe, but Stalin kind of executed a lot of those people as well. So wait, here's my kind of question. What's your take on Stalin?
On Stalin?
Yeah.
Not a great guy.
Yeah.
I mean, like the at the start of the invasion of Russia, he was a real problem because he was thinking, I'm so brilliant, I can run this, I know how to defeat the army, the Germans. And it was only really when he stepped back, let Zhukov take over, that things started turning around for the Russians. He is quite remarkable in that, like, brutal dictators, they don't tend to last forever. They don't tend to live out their lives normally. And the fact he managed it is quite without anyone actually successfully stabbing him in the back, that's quite impressive. Because this is
well, he just killed everyone.
Yeah.
So there was no one left to stab him in the back, I guess. Like, right?
But being able to wield that sort of power is quite impressive.
Yeah,
normally,
fair enough. Yeah.
Normally, like, you have all the other people underneath him going, geez, it could be us tomorrow. And so they'll always gang up and go, yeah, let's just stab him in the night. And that tends to happen to people who are too brutal. And you see that in chimps as well. Like if you get a really violent alpha male in a group of chimps, his reign will normally be short-lived because he might be able to beat up any of the other chimps. But the next two biggest chimps, they figure it out. If we team up, we can kill him. And so that's what they do.
Right. Yeah.
So
no, 100% right. I think it's interesting when it comes to monarchy. So wait, I just wanted to go back to Stalin for a minute. So have you seen The Death of Stalin, the BBC auction?
Yeah.
And what's your general thoughts on that whole thing?
I thought it was quite funny. One of my cousins, he was Stalin's son in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Based.
He's one of these these distant cousins that I've never actually met before.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's probably a massive shitlib though, unfortunately. Just being an actor.
Oh yeah. So okay, like let's go back a little bit here. So you live in the country, right? Like in the rural kind of area of the UK.
Yeah.
And then is there much country left in the UK or?
Yeah, it does shrink though. You see new housing like blocks being built and stuff, and it's annoying. And of course you also get the Londoners moving down, fleeing their diversity and coming into this is everywhere in England. hate the Londoners.
So, so would you say this is more of like what do you think about like environmentalism? Because I think a lot of like white folks or whatever, I'm one of them. I'm very sympathetic to nature, and I do love nature, and I really want it to thrive. And I think, you know, the old kind of German idea of like the clearing in the forest, the even to the extent where they would worship it, you know, or worship a tree and so on. That's important to me because, you know, I feel like whether it's paganism or whatever it is, I feel like that's an important thing within like a culture to really like. If we bring back the soul, what's the word I'm looking for? It nurtures the soul. Nature does,
I'm happy just by myself off in some forest. That's happiness to me. Just peace and quiet.
You're like the hermit hashtag hermit kind of vibe. You're like the Gandalf that never went to that never went on the adventure, right? You're like Radagast or whatever. Is it Radagast? Yeah.
Like I know, like some people feel that sort of they love the church, they love the singing and stuff. That doesn't really have any draw to me. But you know, just being off in the forests, I get that. That's where I feel at home.
Interesting. See, I grew up when my family had land, right? I think I've told this story many times, but my grandfather sold land because my grandmother died of cancer relatively young and he couldn't deal with it and blah blah blah, even though he should have just given the fucking farm to my father, who was his son. But anyway, it's called fucking succession, right? I think people have lost this idea of succession, especially within a family. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a fan of the royal family. I'm not necessarily. Well, I am kind of a fan of feudalism, but it's like I grew up on a farm and I had the opportunity to like live my fantasies in the olive groves, right? And I was, you know, cruising through there, like, you know, my mother was calling me, but I didn't care, and I had a big stick, and I would, you know, I could live out there for days, right?
Yeah.
So
I still love finding a good stick. You find it. Oh, there's nothing better than a good stick. Think, oh yeah, I could whack stuff with this. I still get that.
Yeah, but and this is paganism, right? So you previously said that you're not really a pagan, but you know,
I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin with it, right? But it's just, it calls to me more than like Christianity does.
Right. And this is the kind of the thing which is wild. So off topic here for a second, like, you know about the Varangian Guard in the Eastern Roman Empire, right? You know about So they were basically Scandinavian Vikings that were hired as muscle by the
and Anglos,
and Anglos, exactly, by the Eastern Roman Empire. It turns out a lot of those converted because of the Hagia Sophia and the rituals they did there, which was basically like proto kind of Christian rituals, Roman rituals, really. You know, where you had a choir and so on, and the architecture and so on. So
I can see more.
Let me finish for a sec. So this is kind of the ultimate difference between, or not difference, but this is the juxtaposition between civilization, in air quotes, and you know, kind of living apart from civilization and wielding a bow and being free, right? Like our ancestors did, like on the steppe right?
Mhm.
So what's your conception of civilization in terms of like, is it important? Do we like cities if they're done properly? And or like, do we just cast away all of this like technology
Return
and
to monkey.
civilization and organization? And do we just
Uh,
live out in the forest forever? Like, I'm sympathetic to the forest idea, to be honest, but I also recognize there is some beauty and some, I guess you would say, almost like transcendence to like a good city and a good
mhm.
like church, for instance,
Yeah.
or
I mean,
not
like,
necessarily church, but a great cathedral.
yeah, yeah, like those Varangian guards, these Northmen who came there. The biggest thing they'd have seen would be like a wooden longhouse with thatch roof, and then you see this. It would seem like the Hagia Sophia. It would seem like the work of the gods. And you saw like the Saxons in England with some of these old Roman stuff. They thought the same thing. It was like, oh, gods must have built
Yeah.
this stuff. So you can see that. Whereas for me, I've seen that, right? And it's like the opposite pull. Like, yeah, I don't think this is the way. You're going back there, but I'm not. But just like return to monkey sort of thing. That's a tough existence, really hard existence. That's not really what you call flourishing. Like the actual return to nature.
Mhm.
And so I mean, I think so. I think you just have both really, and there's room for both because some people hate the countryside. You know, they need people around them, and that's fine. They can have their cities and they can do their stuff, and then we can be off in our woods doing stuff, getting them their strawberries or whatever they want. I think, yeah, hunting their veal and stuff. Yeah, I mean, my big thing is I want mass depopulation, though.
Depopulation. Okay.
Yeah.
Not deportation. Depopulation. Okay. Interesting. Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, like it's on that, like it's flowing on from that. Like, so throughout the whole Middle Ages, England was 3 to 6 million people. So in like the Black Death, it drops to 3 million, and I just think, wow, that must have been so nice and peaceful. Give me another Black Death. Just wipe the board clean, and that would be so nice. But so if I don't think we're going to get down to 6 million again, but it would be nice if we did. Like with Norway, they've had a population of about 5 million, and nobody thinks, oh, poor little Norway, wish they had more people. So and especially for the Anglo spirit, I feel we need space and greenery and peace and quiet.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah. I mean, like back to my childhood, like my grandmother had a garden. I mean, it was the kind of the ultimate system where my grandfather, he was a farmer, he owned like a lot of land, like a lot. I mean, I look back on
This
it
is
now, it's
Australian.
like it wasn't a small holding, right?
This is
It
Australian
was.
farms, right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. even in Australia, it was a huge holiday.
There's
But my grandmother was still in the backyard doing her garden, and it was beautiful. Right, the first thing that went when the farm was sold was the garden, because it was bought by a multinational corporation. And they didn't care about the fucking garden, right? So, that's gone because that's not efficient. That's not part of the new system that we live on, right?
Yeah.
But but so I mean, I don't want to bring up Adam and Eve or whatever, but it's like, yeah, the garden is important. The English garden, like I said, I think I mentioned the secret garden previously in this talk. But like the English garden is one of the greatest and most beautiful things on earth. It's what it is. It's a civilizational force that is just local, and only it's also exclusive. So you wouldn't just invite everyone into your garden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There
is. I was going to say on the farm thing. I did see that there's this joke with you see like American ranchers say they own 1,000 acres and have 10,000 cattle. Then the Australian rancher comes along and goes, I have no idea how big my farm is. I need a helicopter to get around it. And I have no idea how many cattle I've got. There's too many.
Yeah. I mean, if I had like a lot more money than I do, I would probably start farming fucking what are they called? Why can't camels? I would
Really?
start farming camels. Yeah, because there's a shit ton of wild camels that exist in the middle of Australia. They can I think they were brought over by the Arabs, and they're just there, ready for the taking. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Is this going to be like another emu war, though? You know, the Australian camel war, and you're going to lose.
Please, can we not do the emu war thing? I know this is this is like it's like Faulty Towers, right? With what's his fucking name? You know how I'm talking about.
John Cleese.
Yeah, John Cleese. Yeah. Can we not talk about the war?
It is not your proudest moment.
Yeah.
Losing to emus.
But we did cut the Americans, which I think the Brits will approve of. In New Guinea, we won the first land battle against the Japanese, and with the Americans will never live that down. So,
is there money in camels then?
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't know. I haven't looked that far into it, but
do you eat camels?
There's a lot of them. You know, I don't know. They have fat in their humps, so maybe we could turn it into soap. You know, like I feel like there's a whole untapped market there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is the Tharium space. I was just talking shit about me for a long time. So Tharium. So have you looked into the esoteric nature of Western man or no?
The thing is, I'm kind of retarded. I'm not really a deep thinker. I just go with the vibes. I go where the vibes take me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could do that, but like I have a job. And I don't live in the country anymore. I live in a suburb. Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel sad now. I wish I could be like among the trees like you are still. So
I mean,
do you think? I continue.
I do think I mean, it is true that everyone is miserable these days, right? Something's gone seriously wrong, I think, with our societies. And I don't know, I don't know. It just seems to be outpouring into just madness. Like these, I mean, like the transgender stuff. I mean, how's that not just absolute madness? But also, I mean, this could also be part of the thing with there just being too many people.
So if you had the chance, would you like wipe out? So I'm thinking of like the what is it?
I wouldn't.
The Stonehenge that existed in fucking America. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Wait, in America.
The esoteric Stonehenge. What was it called? The something stones. Oh my god, it's like
Those stones were like, yeah, you got to have the world population. That some
yeah. So, would you agree with this? Or?
No, I'm not going to be setting up camps to to get my goal. I'm just hoping for another Black Death. That's where I'm at.
So it's hopium then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And plus, it's like, I mean, the people with those stones and stuff, they're just evil, right? Like, this is Jeffrey Epstein's lot, and yeah, they're eating children and stuff. So I'd really not want them in charge.
Yeah. Do you think there is a real evil force in the world that?
Oh yeah.
Dare I say, controls the world, or?
Yeah, and one of the things that does give me pause is that I'm not, I'm quite, I don't know, with all this sort of spiritual stuff, but you keep seeing elites from everywhere, really. They're into all this weird satanic occult stuff. And why are you doing that? Like, the Nazis had the Thule Society.
The Thule, yeah.
You hear stuff about.
But I think it was it came from what's his name, Blavatsky, who was a Russian Jew. But yeah,
and you hear stuff about like the American sort of stuff. Like, they're in one of their universities. There's that Skull and Bone Society that a load of presidents have been from.
Do you think America was founded on Freemasonry? Because I mean, that's where Skull and Bones comes from.
Yeah. That was their founding fathers, were Freemasons. So kind of, but just the occult stuff. Yeah, that makes me nervous, because these are serious people, and very powerful, serious people with stuff to do, and yet they spend time doing this occult stuff, like and some of these people, like the spirit painting and blood painting and all this weird stuff. Like, there's stuff with Jeffrey and like child sacrifices and stuff. Potentially, it's which does make me think, well, if these people are doing it, the people who know all the secrets, right? They know where everything's buried and stuff. Why are they doing all this demonic stuff? Is there actually are demons actually real?
And well, that's kind of my question. Like, back to my question, I think, like, are the people in control, like, of the devil, or are they like the ultimate evil force, like the archons or whatever? Are they, in control because, like, we are in the Kali Yuga, and this is what we have to deal with? We're controlled by satanic forces now, or I mean, the old line in the Bible is like, well, maybe it's not in the Bible especially, but growing up as a Christian, they said, like, the Satan is the Lord of the world, right? And like, is he? I mean,
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because and this the other thing. The devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he doesn't exist.
Yeah,
and it's just I just get there's just this weird stuff. Just, it gives me concerns me a bit. And I remember one time there was the Hillary Clinton emails, sort of, they leaked, and someone found in all of them a couple of this one email that I'm guessing she sent from the wrong email. This was from her work email, and it wasn't supposed to be, because she's sending it to someone going, can I have an update on the it was like the location of the tomb of the Nephilim and the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh. What the fuck is that about? Why? Like, I'm just what?
I mean, hold on there. Like, I'd also be interested on an update on the Tomb of Gilgamesh. But
yeah.
like, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, what is going on here? Like,
Yeah. But I mean, there are some mysteries that are kind of beyond. This is the kind of the hilarious thing about like the world right now. Well, maybe the world forever is like there are esoteric mysteries going on, and people are researching that, and people in power,
they don't want
kind of feed off that, right?
Oh, I don't know. The people in power seem really concerned about this. They want.
I mean, you take like John Dee and Edward Keller, right? They were
right, yeah,
Elizabeth's court magicians, right?
Yeah.
And did they have a solid physical impact on the Spanish Armada failing and crashing itself on the rocks when Elizabeth was in power? Like, maybe they did. I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean?
But the public face of our elites today tell us, no, all total nonsense. Don't pay any attention to any of this stuff. And then the ancient history as well, they really hate that. Sort of like, and then because we like you know the Graham Hancock guy.
Yeah.
Like he receives a lot of backlash for just asking questions.
He has a let's just say a brown wife, by the way, from Mexico.
Sure. Oh yeah, which again they tried pulling out the whole he's racist to try and discredit him. I don't know, but like the Atlantis and stuff, and then it's sort of you see like stuff about like the Nephilim is like, well, is this stuff real? And you see the thing with like the Hillary Clinton stuff, the Tomb of Gilgamesh and the Nephilim. One of the things that's interesting is that so the Nephilim were half divine, half angel, half human, and then Gilgamesh is also he's 2/3 human, 1/3 divine. So
have you read the Epic of Gilgamesh? By the way?
Yeah. And the weird thing is, there's no mention of any sodding resurrection chamber in the in the
100. Yeah.
So this is like again, these like weird, I don't know, weird celestial demonic something or other going on that we don't know about.
And do you think like that's part of why? I mean, I don't really want to go into the history of the breakdown of the British Empire, but I mean, was there an occultic factor to that? I mean, we mentioned the Freemasons in America and so on. Like, obviously, the French Revolution was, it obviously, if everyone really researches hard, that will find out that was a Masonic revolution, right? Yeah.
One of the
but then it's like, was the Catholic Church correct then? Like, it's I don't know.
One of the interesting things about magic is that, so you have these. They've done these tests with these random number generators. They just come up with numbers, and they have proven it's very small, but you can just by thinking about it alter these random number generators. So you will make, if you say thinking of 11, you thinking about that will make 11 more likely to appear.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense if that would make sense if like quantum physics is
and this is
what it is, right?
Yeah, your mind is changing reality around you just by thinking about it.
Which goes against the kind of the atheist view that the mind is simply a machine. I mean,
it's just
I don't know if you've like written a song or a poem or done anything creative. Really, it's not necessarily yourself when you're doing it. Like,
Mhm.
if you engage in true creative practice, painting a picture or whatever, it turns out you're just kind of a tool, enjoying the process, right? I don't know. Maybe you have a different
I
experience of
know.
creativity, but
I know Tesla claimed that he was just being all his inventions. He was just being sent them from somewhere in space. Someone in space was just sending them through him.
yeah. I mean, Tesla, he was from like some Slavic country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can trust Tesla, but I mean, the interesting thing about Tesla is he was funded so much money, but through the establishment, right? So they gave him the book really to just do what he wanted to do. It turns out what he wanted to do was a bit beyond them, and that was a kind of a threat to
Well, yeah,
their power and so on.
he wanted free energy for everyone.
Exactly.
And then JP Morgan goes, no, I can't meter this. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about all this stuff. Like you said, like, I mean, I am a pagan only because I think there's more truth to the Havamar, which is an Icelandic text about Norse paganism, and the other one that I love is obviously the Homer text, like the Iliad and the Odyssey. They are incredible, and they were written like way before Christianity. So this is and we can go into Shakespeare all day long. I mean, Shakespeare in my mind was basically a pagan, but he wasn't a pagan, but through the normal lens of being a pagan. And Tolkien as well. Like Tolkien was a Christian, and kind of there are kind of Christianity. I guess you would say like themes to Lord of the Rings, but really, I mean, that is a pagan text in my opinion. And these are the kind of the greatest texts in Western civilization, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it does bother me the people who say the West was built on Christianity. Well, not really. We had a lot of great stuff before that.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's just to completely discredit the ancient Greeks and Romans. Like, really?
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. Yeah. I mean, and if you want to say like, even if you want to say like Christianity with that, it does seem like Jesus, if it's all real, like Jesus did like go and find some Greek Stoicism. That's quite heavily influenced throughout the Bible. So
yeah, I mean, there's also a rumor that he traveled to India when he was like, between the age of 16 and 30 or whatever. So I don't know. Like, I'm not saying Hinduism has some great wisdoms either, but it's just like,
Yeah. I also think, I mean, and if you look at it today, Christianity is a rotten state. Like, I mean, the people I can't stand is a lot of these Christian nationalists, because they're the type who like, well, it's okay if, we get genocided, so long as the people doing it, the Africans doing it, say they like Jesus. And these just, Christ cucks are, I can't stand them. And I feel like
it's used. I mean, obviously we can look into such people. I mean, there's all these talking heads, right? But one of the kind of most recent ones is obviously Fuentes, right? And Fuentes, he's not necessarily white or he's a mixture meat sort of person, right? But it's obvious that he's a Catholic, and okay, Catholicism is what it is, but he's still kind of cocking out to the system a little bit, right? And even though he says some stuff, I mean, one of the greatest lines he said was, your mom and dad was
Was it too soon?
Right? Yeah. You know the one I'm talking about.
My mom died in the holly.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like,
did you?
I mean, is that it? Like, I don't know.
Did you see? Do you see the stuff about how they want to make the British countryside less white recently? Like this is this new government sort of push. Like, the countryside is too white. We need to make it more appealing to Muslims. We need more halal food, more mosques, more all this shit that nobody wants in the countryside. And you'll never guess who was behind this idea, who started it all. It was Danny Finkelstein's sister. The guy who did Me Mum Died in the Holly. His sister is the one now pushing this. It's like, geez, is it? Why do bad things keep happening to a certain group of people? We may never know.
Yeah. And see, this is the problem I have though with the whole WGNO-SI'd thing is like, do they really hate? Do they really hate us that much?
I think
do you know what I mean? Why though?
I know, right? I struggled with this for a long time because, let's say, so all of white people, all of Europe, we're all dead, replaced with Muslims. How is that good for for a certain tribe? That's suicide, you dumb idiots. And then you sort of just have to accept, no, it is just based on pure hatred. They just really hate us and they don't care. You see how they cling on to every slight their people have ever had throughout all history. They'll go to Italy, they'll go to Rome and see Trajan's Arch, and they'll take pictures of themselves giving it the finger. Really? You're still upset about this? And yeah.
Okay.
I think it is just.
I mean,
I think the IQ that they're contributed with is very overstated in a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, one of the kind of fucking most kind of interesting things is maybe Islam or Islam, Muslims in general.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are a kind of a tool of the people that we're I would call them let's use a Lord of the Rings term. They are a kind of a tool of Morgoth, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like the in Lord of the Rings, they're like the people from the east. What were they called in the Lord of the Rings? The guys in the films, with the big elephants and shit. The big tattoos on their face and so on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are a tool, right? And I think a lot of people in our in Western countries don't kind of realize that it is just a basic tool, because I think these people are IQ, they are inbred, right? Let's be honest, and they're easy to manipulate. So. I mean, the same thing happened in Syria. I mean, you can look at the history of Syria. Syria is an incredible country. I mean, Syria was owned by the Crusaders for a long time. It was called the Kingdom of Antioch, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it was it was ours for a little while.
Firas on the Lotus Eaters, he's quite based on all this. He knows when to hold his tongue, but and he's Lebanese, so he remembers when Lebanon was a nice, peaceful Christian country, prosperous.
Yeah,
and then some neighboring country decided to go and push a load of Muslims into it. Oh, and look at it now; it's a caliphate. Oh.
Yeah, and this is the thing. People don't realize this because mosques go up and they're a physical fortress, right? That's how mosques are designed, by the way. You can look at the design of a general mosque. And it's a fortress. That's how it's designed. It turns out that the people that we're talking about, the kind of the ultimate controllers, right?
Mhm.
Morgoth's kind of vision of the world is not necessarily physical. It's soft power, right? And these people never built anything.
No.
This is kind of the hilarious thing about the whole thing. Everyone talks about Rome and how, they were cast out for hundreds of years. And yeah, this is the point. They don't live in the same mindset where they need to build in order to live, right?
Well, the Jeffrey the Jeffrey emails, the new ones, they're quite interesting because he's talking about this. One of the things he says is, this is how the Jews make money, and he's just talking about trading on futures. Just moving
and
money
let the goyim do what they do. Yeah,
let the goyim deal with real stuff.
Let them actually physically interact. We just are the middleman.
Parasites. We'll be parasites leeching off all the actual real work that they're doing, just moving money around. Like, oh, thanks, Jeffrey. And this is I mean the response of this new stuff from the mainstream media going, he was a Russian agent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's the new one. The old Russians again. The Ruskies. Under the bed. Yeah.
Yeah, you read these emails, didn't you? Yeah, when he's talking about goyams everywhere and his.
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've seen it. I remember. But Tharium, we're gonna have to continue this. But for how long will you be available? Because I have to see a man about a dog. So I'm just if we could just hold on. How long are you available for?
I've probably got some stuff I should be doing.
Okay. Well, just give me 1 minute and I'll be back.
Okay.
Talk to the audience, which we have no audience, but yeah, talk to yourself.
Hello, future listeners.
Okay, well, Tharium didn't say anything.
I don't know what this you that was.
Well, I mean, it's all good. It's all good. I put you on the spot there. Was it too long? Was it too? I don't know. It's just an Australian man who's whatever. All right. Anyway, back to the said topics. Have you heard of Nick Land?
Who was he? I think I have. But who is
he? He's a English intellectual. He went to the University of Warwick. How do you pronounce it? Is it Warwick or Warwick?
Warwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started an esoteric society under the CCRU, which was a feminist organization, believe it or not. Nina Power was also went to Warwick. Yeah. Are you aware of Nina Power?
Yeah, I know the name. Who's she again?
So, how do I describe Nina? She is incredibly based, but she's very kind of female. So she's been engaged with leftists in order to kind of build the bridge between left and right, I guess. But she's all about the English, and she was counseled, counseled, whatever the fucking word is, from mainstream academia. You know, and she had to make her own way in the world. She has a big jaw, by the way. Like physically, she has a big kind of chin. But she's kind of like, I kind of, you know, I'd go there. I'd go there. Anyway, so Nina and Nick Land, you know, these are the sort of people that
That is a big jaw. Yeah.
yeah. Don't look on a slow side profile.
That's reminding me of the Habsburgs. That is. Oh.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit harsh. I think she has a certain inner beauty.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Nick Land. So he's an esotericist, and like I said, he was a product of whatever the fuck was going on at Warwick. But the CCRU was the Cybernetics Research Group, I guess, and he was maybe second in command or something. But he was doing a lot of meth, right? So, well, what's your what's your opinion on meth, Tharium? As a white man. Yeah.
Not a fan. No.
Really?
Yeah, no. I'm not Scottish.
Anyway, so what's your drug of choice then? Just beer, or you don't do
nothing?
You like a straight edge, or
yeah?
I
just like, I think part of it was being so like rural. Like, I mean, just the nearest village would be about an hour and a half walk. So I didn't go hanging out with friends much when I was growing up, you know, whereas people like in the village and stuff, or like, and the rest of my school friends, they could like go out after school, hang out. So then they get into trouble, don't they? Yeah, they get the older kids, they get in the ruffians. Me, it was just me. So I couldn't get into any trouble. So I just never really got into this stuff.
Wow, you really were a rural child. That's very cool. That's very cool. So where was your, like, how far away was your school though? You had to obviously get a bus, or
yeah, about half an hour bus on a good day.
Wow. Every day.
Yeah. And we had to had to drive to the bus stop as well, because it was just too far to walk.
Okay. Anyway, back to Nick Land. So we mentioned that, well, I don't know if I said this previously, but one of his biggest takes is AI is capitalism. What do you think about this?
How do you figure?
Well, basically, his whole theory is, and I kind of agree with it, despite how kind of crazy it is, that we are being pulled from the future. Well, sorry, yeah. We are being pulled from the past to the future, i.e., like everything that we do in terms of capitalism, in terms of making new things, in terms of discovering new things and putting it on the market and blah, blah, blah. This is very kind of like, it's drawing us into the future, and it's developing technology, even though we don't necessarily want to develop technology, but we just develop it unconsciously almost, because we all want new shiny things, right?
Yeah.
So his whole thing is time works backwards. Actually, we're being pulled to the future via capitalism and AI, even though we don't know about this stuff. What do you think about that?
Oh, is this a bit like the basilisk, the AI basilisk thing, where
Explain that. No, I haven't heard of this. Yeah.
so it's there's a theory that in the future, I think it's like the AI will be so powerful that it's something to do with like AI and the future and like it knowing that you opposed it or something. So anyone who opposes it now will be killed in the future. And it's like it's a bit time traveling. It's weird. It's yeah, not, but I think the AI stuff's I feel it's just really like it's taken on a bit of a religion, really, I think, for people. And they're hoping it will just it's like they're hoping they can make a god. Because that's what what they're going for is the artificial general intelligence. So an actual AI, not just what we have now, which is, I don't know, kind of a smart algorithm. And so AGI that would be a god, because it would just surpass us in an instant with the way it can just increase its own knowledge and build upon itself.
Have you seen these? Well, I say these, but I only saw one or two. But I've seen these posts on Twitter about AI robots, and they're developed in Korea or something, and they're kind of like they've kind of crashed the what is it like the uncanny valley, like
they look human.
Yeah, they actually kind of look reasonably human, or like they look like
what were these robots for?
Well, that's where I was getting to. So it's all about sex robots, right? So and that's the thing. But do you think like women will like calm down? Because obviously in the last sort of like 5-6 years maybe, women have just been going crazy on the internet, and they're all whores, and it is what it is, and we're not fans of this behavior, right? But like, do you think like that will kind of calm them down a little bit? Because most men will just like get a sex robot and then
yeah. I mean, you're already seeing AI OnlyFans whores. It's whole channels that are getting loads of money just putting out like AI whores on OnlyFans. And I think the sex bots, I mean, they may well end the human race, right? Because just the men are just going, oh, this is so much easier. You got AI that is programmed to just always please you, and you can never wrong it. And then it's just can have it look however you want. It will say the right things for you. Why would people want to mess around with with real women? And I think it works both ways, because the women will have.
I was just gonna bring that up, because 100% it works both ways, because women are being like they're talking to their chatbot.
Yeah.
And the chatbot will just tell them everything they want to hear, right?
Yeah, these female Guna chatbots that they've got already.
100%, yeah.
It's just annihilating women. And it's always like, And this is just a screen you're looking at, and someone's saying. And so when you can put that into a physical thing. I don't know. This could be, I mean, it will at least get me my mass depopulation. So there's that at least.
All right, so back to Nick Land. So this is interesting because Nick Land has been called in certain philosophical circles as the king of accelerationism. So have you heard of this term, accelerationism?
Yeah, I get it.
You
It
get
makes
it?
sense. Yeah, it's like it's one of
And
those things where
so,
I don't want it. I don't want the collapse, but I can see that yeah, there is potential in the collapse, and it probably is necessary, but it's
mm,
not going to be pretty.
yeah. I mean, I kind of want the collapse, though. Is that weird to say? I don't know.
It's
Because I just feel like everything is so retarded
yeah, it's
that,
all
like,
fake. Everything's fake these days.
that there needs to be some kind of thing that, like, flips everything back to the olive grove that, where people are playing with sticks. Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, yeah. The whole world is fake, right? Money's fake. Everything's fake. It's all just built on fakeness, and the system just keeps just moving stuff around, coming up with new things to keep the fakeness going.
Right.
And
Which is
and I
Nick
don't.
Land's whole take, but because Nick Land's whole take is that I think, if I could kind of
Right.
summarize it, but it's not like,
I
it
think
isn't actually. I mean, you need to really research what he was saying. But my take is, like, from what I've read, is like, yeah, the acceleration is a thing that exists and we can't stop it. And so why not encourage it? And therefore, after the fact, we still will maybe have people like Tharium living out in the sticks, right? And then we can reset, right?
yeah. I think about 90% of people would die in the world.
Why?
So,
Why would you say this?
like, if we had like an actual proper collapse, everything's gone. That is going to be
But you said yourself, when the sex bots come out, we won't breed. So
yeah.
are you saying, like, what I'm saying is, I
right.
think,
Okay, you're right. I see.
do you know what I mean, though? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about more like just the system collapsing. Which I think AI, I think a lot of them are viewing AI as their last chance to sort of just figure it out. Everything is all fucked, and we just keep trying to limp along. Just keep it going until I die. That's sort of their thinking, and they're hoping AI might be able to just figure a way to sort of make all the money printing make sense. And
Yeah.
it's not going to, because
Yeah.
AI is running into a real problem with hard reality at the moment with their data centers. There's just not enough stuff, like because they're from the tech world, so you can just copy and paste code and it costs nothing. Whereas the AI is now eating into just all the silicon, all the data centers.
All right. Well, here's my take on it. Like, so have you heard of Rocket Lab? Obviously, we know SJJ, right? He's invested in Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab's ultimate goal is to launch data centers into space. Now, that sounds ludicrous on the face of it, right? But when you think about it, it has a massive advantage, because you can power the data centers via solar panels, right? You don't have a tether to Earth. Plus, it's self-cooling, so you don't need to cool the computers, right? Because there's it's sub-zero, whatever, up there. So, like, instantly. Plus, they have, like, what is it? The Elon Skynet. What is it for? You know what I'm talking about? The Internet of I can't remember the name of it, but
Starlink. Yeah.
Starlink. Yeah, thank you. So all you need to do, really, to solve the AI problem is just launch it up there, and then everything is solved. Like, so
but you've got to mine all this silicon and all this stuff. All that is all the physical stuff, and getting heavy stuff into space is really expensive and tricky. And you just want to just have all of that in space. I mean, that's going to be
but once it's up there, like the problem's solved. So all it is getting it up there, really.
Oh, but is it?
And I mean, like,
because like these
Rocket Lab is working on ion rockets and all sorts of. I mean, Elon has already proven that this can happen. To be honest, like,
it's just on the scale of it, though, because the scale they want for the AI is insane. Like, they want to increase in the United States, they want to increase the energy production of the whole country by like 3 times. That's insane. That's a huge amount. And then I think about 30% of the current building projects that they have planned are data centers in the whole country. 30% of it is building data centers.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing is happening here. I mean, I've worked on a project in Melbourne where it's literally like I take a hotel and like times it by 15 or something, 15, 20.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of like infrastructure involved to build this data center, and like the payoff hasn't even like it's not obvious to me what the payoff is, but they're just fucking building them.
Yeah,
so, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, like Facebook want to build one that's the size of all Manhattan. What do you think? And they're just hoping, we just sacrifice more silicon to the AI money god, and it will make us immortal. Would it though?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I tweeted like a while ago was silicon like is basically sand, but it's not necessarily sand. It's only the white sand. And actually, in Australia, we have the most beautiful beaches on earth, and some of them are purely white sand. And if some cunt comes over and fucking starts vacuuming up an Australian beach, like, you know what I mean, though? Nah, bro. Like, it's done. I'm done with the whole system. If some cunt starts vacuuming up an Australian beach, which is possibly the most beautiful beach on earth, right? Fuck you, son. We need to come up with a different solution to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but,
it's like the Sam Altman, the OpenAI head, he says that it's not a bubble AI. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where all of this stuff is going. Like, I feel like, so take climate change, for instance, right? A lot of people, like, obviously, climate change does not necessarily mean that we're all going to die and the ocean is going to rise and blah, 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 right? We can argue that all day long. But the hilarious thing about it was that was the given, right? Climate change is real, and we can continue on from there, I guess. And one of the kind of the mad solutions that they suggest is we need to basically cloud the planet from the sun.
Yeah.
Which is all of the conspiracy theories for the last you know what I mean? For the last 70, 80 years.
Yeah, the cartoon villain. We'll block out the sun.
Exactly. It's like, okay, but you're actually suggesting it now for some reason.
Keir Starmer and the Labour government floated experiments about that in Britain. You want to block out the sun of the least sunny place on earth?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
It turns out fucking retarded, like, people that don't understand science. I mean, look at the small ice age that existed in the Middle Ages, right?
Yeah.
We can go back further. We can look at ice cores and so on. the planet fluctuates from hot to cold, and it doesn't necessarily mean complete disaster.
Yeah.
But I think this is what it's a tool of control. It's just another tool of control, right?
Yeah.
Because
it is funny seeing
Yeah.
the net zero shit being dropped now because of AI.
Mm.
Like Bill Gates and stuff, he's been banging on all this time about, oh, we need green energy, you know, climate change, the world's going to end. And now that they all want all the power for the AI, it's like, well, maybe a bit of climate change is okay. Maybe it's just instant. Once they find the new money god, oh, nah, that's yeah, that's fine. We don't need green energy anymore.
Meanwhile, all of this, I mean, let's be honest, all of this is contingent. Every plan. So we live under a kind of a world order, right? Whether it's the new world order or the old world order, we live under it. Okay, let's be honest. Every every man and his dog lives under this kind of regime, right? We can talk about the regime all day long, but we can't name the regime specifically, especially in Australia, considering the new laws that they've
I did
recently introduced.
I posted that video. You're not even allowed to call people pufters anymore. I mean, what is an Australian man supposed to do if he can't call people pufters? That's just sick. That is. That's like telling a Jew he's not allowed to clip coins.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's hard. It's hard. I mean, like, you know, in the UK, it's like a physical thing where you have a bunch of different people invading your sovereign territory. In Australia, it's more of a thought crime thing where you can't like think outside the box because that's bad or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At least you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the what was I talking about? The box. What was I talking about? Was it money? I can't remember. AI. Oh no, yeah. So here's the hilarious thing, and it's not necessarily hilarious. It's horrible about AI and climate change and so on. Is that really, you know, we are building our own prison. And the reason why this happens is because we're being paid to do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like the kings of old England. They were given easy credit, right?
Yeah. How do you mean by prison? Do you mean like the AI is just going to take over everything, sort of thing?
Well, I work in design. I can't sort of get too specific, but I work in a company that is a contractor of a contractor that builds these data centers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid, and I'm not going to turn up to work and not get paid, right? So why, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 There is, I mean, this is one of the ways that like actual AI could really do anything, because it could just have lots of people doing lots of little jobs. Like it'll put out some advertisement. Hey, I'll pay you $10 to take this package from here to here, and it'll be able to build whatever it wants just by having people as slaves, just unwittingly doing like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, to your point, like a lot of people don't know what they're doing.
No.
So we're all like, it's only, because I guess I listened to Red Ice when I was like 19 or something. This is the only reason I recognize what's happening, right? You know, Red Ice Radio, right?
No.
Back in the day, they were doing everything from Bigfoot to fucking, I don't know, like esoteric fucking demon like possession or whatever. Like they were doing all of it. Now, obviously, Red Ice is what it is, and they're focused on one thing, and I don't blame them necessarily for that. But you know, they are Swedish, so what can you expect? But all I'm saying is, like, not a lot of people recognize their own doom. They're all like part of the system. It's like the old Matrix line. It's like everyone doesn't recognize they're part of the system, but as soon as they do, they will fight to defend the system, right?
Yeah. And there is so much money for the AI at the moment. I do view like it as I view AI as religion, really, for a lot of these people. And I mean, I'm sure there's already some people worshipping it, right? There's got to be, and I think that's only just going to grow. As everyone asks that, like, you know, the Grok is this true meme. You can see how that's going to sort of spread to, you know, Grok is the truth, Grok is the light. And just no one's going to, we're not going to think anymore. We're not going to make anything anymore. Everything will come from the AI.
And so back to Nick Land, I think like it is true that, I mean, if we're really honest with ourselves, it is true that this was inevitable when, you know, when Turing, you know, who invented like the code that broke the Enigma code machine, right? It was inevitable that he was gay, by the way. So fuck. Yeah. Anyway. And is it an inevitability that you know we are kind of
it's inevitable that gay people will destroy humanity. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Yeah. But you know, it is an inevitability that people are building their own demise. And so the only way through that, I guess, in Nick Land's mind, is to kind of accelerate the process to where, you know, they will destroy themselves and we can just live in the forest somewhere. But while they do that, right?
Yeah. It's like one of these things where they can't really stop it, right? If it's going to happen.
Yeah, because everyone is so excited and everyone will devote their time to do it. Yeah. Even if they disagree. Like myself. I'll turn up to work tomorrow, right? I'll turn up to work on Monday and I'll do what I do. And unfortunately, you know, I'm part of the problem, right? Even though I have no choice, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't mean to lay that on you. This seems like a massive black pill space, but
it's just, you know, when you're just the one little ant, though, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's like we used to be. I mean, I think of my ancestry. We used to be lords. Have you heard of the Lamberts, Tharium?
The who?
The Lamberts.
Yeah, probably. I don't know who specifics though.
Yeah, so I was descended from the Lamberts, and the here it gets a little bit wild, but he was a merchant, you know. Not one of those. He actually bit.
Okay, sure, yeah, right. This
But
explains things. Yeah,
he was the director of the South Sea Company. Have you heard of this?
yeah.
Hmm. And he got out before it crashed. So the South Sea Company was, this trading company, and the shares went wild, and everyone lost a lot of money. Anyway, he made enough money to buy a barony in South England, and his ancestors. His the son of his son, I guess, was fought in the War of 1812 against the Yanks, and Captain Lambert. He was on the HMS Java against the HMS Constitution.
Oh, is that the picture?
Yeah. And
I thought you were just putting that on for me, like, oh, the Yanks getting the shit pummeled out of them. I like that.
Unfortunately, the Yanks won that battle, and he was shot in the neck.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Lamberts lived on, but at least he fought against the Yanks, right?
yeah.
Anyway, he went down with the ship, the HMS Java. The HMS Constitution. It was just a bigger, more well-gunned ship. I think. I think it was like it had like 13 more guns or something. It was ridiculously. Or maybe it wasn't even. It was just like more well armored or something, and the Americans knew how to like put plate armor on their lower hull or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, Tharium? Here's my question. Why didn't we win the War of 1812? What happened there?
We did. We burnt the White House, told them, and yeah. And then we just agreed that it's not worth the effort. I mean, we did have like Napoleon. Kind of
I know, the old French, yeah, but like I don't know, like maybe here's my crazy theory. Maybe we should have focused on the Americans and really took back the great, because they just have a lot of land, right?
I think in the Civil War, we could have joined that on the Confederate side. Then the Union wouldn't have stood a chance. Then they'd have lost easy. And then, well, then that's a lot of opportunity because you don't have the Union. You got the Confederates who'll be inward looking, and the broken Union. So then you don't have, you won't have the Americans just fucking with us, basically, this past century, that they have done this past century.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate like the average Americano, but like, what do you think about Americans? Because like, I don't know. I have a pure line back to, I mean, we can go into it, but I have a pure line back to like the proper English, right? And, so I have an antagonism to the Americans.
Well, I mean, the America's a 50% brown country. That's just that. That's not going to change. That's just going to get worse.
I think this was a product of Freemasonry, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, they decided that they wanted to be a propositional liberal nation. So what do you have to fall back on when like a bunch of Mexicans say we're American? Well, that's kind of what you set up to do. And so, I mean, they are. I mean, the thing is, I mean, America as a geopolitical entity is an enemy, but most Americans have no idea how their system works. So they don't realize it. So there's plenty of like nice Americans, well-meaning Americans. Although recently MAGA have not coated themselves in glory. Like, did you see the clip of Tim Pool saying, "I'm not licking the boot, I am the boot"?
Wow.
It's like,
I personally, I just avoid Tim Paul because, like, he's obviously. Can I put it politely? I don't even know how he's retarded. So
yeah, it's like you are not the boot, Tim. This isn't, you are not in power, you have none of this. But he's just relishing all this stuff, like the Greenland stuff. He was loving that, going, yeah, fucking Europause, this is what we do. And what happened with the Greenland stuff, Tim? Nothing. Fucking nothing.
Taco. Trump always chickens out.
He even put out videos going, Trump's done it, when, like, they said, Trump said, we've thought of a deal, and he's going, Trump done it, Trump's conquered Greenland. Nope. Nothing. Trump made a big lot of just this steaming pile of shit for nothing, and you cheered it on like a fucking retard. But in general, yeah, American people, fine. I mean, but politically, Enoch Powell was right, because he knew they were the enemy, and he wanted to disassociate us from them completely.
Hell yeah. Also, I think possibly not the greatest Englishman. I mean, obviously they were great Englishmen, but one of the greats was shit. Now I can't remember his name. The one that wanted to drive a stake into Africa.
Cecil Rhodes.
Yeah, Cecil Rhodes. What a fucking legend! Can we all build statues of Enoch Powell and Cecil Rhodes? What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, Tharium. Wait, what else did I want to talk about? We got to the American.
I'm not done in America yet. I have.
Okay. Continue.
My hatred again. Fueled by my hatred, because, like, so, one of the arguments that you often hear from Yanks is that they pay for our security. No, they don't. This is a deliberate effort because them and their greatest ally want us weak, because a Europe with no military can't say no to whatever shit they pull. They can't say no. Like when they blew up
100%, yeah.
Like when they blew up Germany's Nord Stream pipeline, completely fucked their economy. This was the basis of their energy, and you just blow it up, and there's nothing Germany's allowed to say about it. And
but to be fair, that is just like what the English did for. It's the great game, right? You want to play off the European powers against each other. I mean,
they're not doing
America
that.
is the new naval power, no?
Yeah, but they're not doing that. They're just being dicks. And I don't want to hear the sort of excuses, well, Russia's an enemy, a hostile enemy, when how many trillions of dollars does America do with trade with China every year? Like, they rely on China for everything, but they'll tell, like, the vassals, no, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to trade with China. No. Only we are. And then there's the reserve currency with the dollar, which is how America just prints its money. It prints money and then it exports it to the rest of its vassals. We have to keep reserve currency of dollars. There's the petrodollar stuff. It's many faceted. that they get to just export all their inflation onto the rest of the world. So they get to live far beyond their means. It's us funding their military, not the other way around. And then, like when Trump's talk about how Europe needs to pay more for NATO and stuff, you see what that is. All that is we need to buy more weapons from America, give them more money, and then we send it to Ukraine. Fucking brilliant. This is increasing our defense. And then any sort of like local, like European defense industries and stuff, they don't really want, America doesn't want them growing. They'll always sort of move against them, make sure they're sort of kept weak, so we can't actually grow our own local native defense industries.
Actually, what they did is they just I said, "Oh, hello, Germany. You have these new Leopard 2 tanks or whatever the fuck they're called. The latest like tech of like European tanks." And they said, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna send that to the Ukraine." Turns out all of those tanks are now being blown up. Yeah. Literally everyone just got done by a fucking Russian missile. Thank you, the US. Yeah, thank you so much. We had some great tanks that we could hold off an invasion. Oh no, we send them. Yeah, we're gonna send them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, bro. It's like they are the hegemon, but they're being, they're being dicks.
I think, and this is what you shouldn't do as a hegemon. You shouldn't be dicks. Like the British Empire were rarely dicks about stuff. We generally tried to keep people happy. Because if you just piss on people like Trump is doing, like the whole art of the deal cope that some people come up with about his current shit. Oh, come on. Like this isn't getting some deal on Windows on your skyscraper, right? Like the Greenland stuff, you could have just asked, fucking retard, you Mexican retard. But no, he's got to, I don't know, and everything's got to be a big show for him, and it's so it doesn't go anywhere. And I think my big concern really is that, and I think part of it might be deliberate because, their greatest ally and stuff, is that Trump's bullshit is only going to help the left, like it did in Canada, because the Liberal Party in Canada were on the way for destruction, like Trudeau's leftist party. Then Trump starts talking about how he's going to annex Canada, and the Conservatives had said, "Oh yeah, they'd been trying to sort of be buddy with America," and then when you've got America saying, "Yeah, we're going to attack you and conquer you," well, then now the left is the nationalist party. And the leftists always suffer with nationalism because they're communist freaks. But when you've got America going, "Yeah, we're going to attack you," that gives the left all they need to say, "Yeah, no, we're not going to stand up for this."
So do you think what's my question here? I guess my question is like, are we doomed because of America? Like, because
I think not really, because America is weak, is very weak internally. It can project power still like externally, but internally it's really weak. Like can Trump just invade Europe? Not really. Like sure, they've got the military force, but there's not the internal support for it. So now and America's not getting any better, is it? Right. So we do have an opportunity now, I think. Like what I would see is a like a kind of just like in Europe and Kanzuk sort of stuff, we could form our own power block with the right people. We get the right people in charge in the main countries. We could break away from America, and we'd be way too powerful for China or Russia to just boss around as well. So you go back in sort of a multi-power world, sort of. That would be
Yeah,
my
what do you think about this theory? So we know about the Roman Empire, right? So one theory I've heard is that Trump is like, kind of a Hadrian. Was it Hadrian?
yeah.
Who he built the wall, against the Picts, right? In Scotland. So the kind of argument is it kind of boils down to let the Americans do what they want to do, but eventually they're going to have to pull back. And I think, will they go to war against Iran? I don't think they will, right? I mean, maybe they will. And if they do, I think that's probably a good thing for us, right? But because they'll probably destroy themselves, because Russia will get involved and so on. And then you've got a whole World War III scenario, which I don't want to get into, but it's like,
I don't think Russia would
what
have
America is doing now is like they're lashing out
yeah.
as
This
the
is
like a dying empire, and they're kind of
exactly
trying
what it is.
to define their borders. So, the idea of taking Greenland is kind of like the Hadrian Wall. It's like, this is as far as we're going to go, and we won't go further than that. Do you know what I mean? This is a theory I've heard. I don't know if I fully believe it, but
it's definitely the lashings out of it's sick and dying empire. You can see, you can see how they would want to like solidify the Atlantic Ocean, basically keep that sort of locked down. So you have Greenland with the Arctic, and then they're probably going to want to basically take over Argentina, sort of. And that sort of blocks that route off from the south. But can they do this? And I don't think they can really. Yeah. But it's it is
sorry,
good.
you were continuing.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I do like their weakness at the moment. It's just we have no one willing to take advantage of it. And like you see some of the people like Farage and stuff who just they're just trying to suck Trump's cock as much as they can, hoping for scraps. And I'm so I hate that so much. Like, because America is the country who they've never helped anyone, right? Well, without, it's not out of, it's only in their self-interest that they've ever done anything.
And to be like, this is an interesting thought, right? What has America done for the world? Right? America has fucked up every place they have invaded, right? They don't know how to build civilization abroad, right? The English and obviously the British Empire knew how to like promote civilization to other people. We can look at every place that they went to. I mean, even the places that are now not English. I mean, even India, right? They beg for civilization to come back. They will say this online like all the time. They wish for the English rule to come back because their civilization is not a real civilization, right? And so what has America done? America has just fucked up civilization. Okay. Take even Vietnam. Vietnam, the only reason the Americans didn't keep control of Vietnam is because the Vietnamese can do civilization better than the Americans can. And that's saying something. That's a real threat, right? That's a real thing. Because not only did the Vietnamese win the war, but also they have a functioning society, right? And if you look at Afghanistan, Iraq, everywhere else, Iran, Egypt, I mean, what were the Americans doing, right? I mean, okay, we can say they were pawns for a certain other country that existed in the Middle East at the time, but they never really introduced civilization to these people, and they never really did what the British did, where everyone that the British took over is asking for the British back. Right?
Yeah. Did you see Callum from the Lotus Eaters, his Afghanistan trip? And he finds...
Oh, yeah. I recently saw it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. You just remind me. Yeah.
Yeah, and he finds the teaching material that USAID was USAID was sending to Afghanistan, and it's just gay rights shit. It's like, oh yeah, this is all the American empire has to offer: gay rights.
Yeah.
And then it's just extraction. It is a purely extractive empire. I'm personally, though, I think it was a wasted effort, really, from the British Empire to try and civilize everyone.
I mean, at least the Chinese don't bomb the shit out of everyone before they try and extract. The Chinese just extract like through business deals.
This is the funny thing. Like, you've got America telling us, "Oh, China's the real enemy." Well, while America is threatening to invade us, and China are just there going, "Oh, hey, we'd just like to do some trade."
Yeah,
really. And also, I don't really buy that China's the big enemy, because China have only ever really cared about China for their whole history. That's all.
China, I mean, the word China in like whatever ancient Chinese or whatever, it means Middle Kingdom. They're not concerned with like conquering the fucking world or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They hope that they have a fucking massive land power that has its own problems.
Yeah. Like
they will be forever consumed with their own problems. We don't need to worry about China.
No. And even if they were the sort of the global hegemon, I mean, they're not going to be giving us gay rights, right? They're not going to be shoving this shit down our throats.
They'll just have Timu on every TV, every device, which they already do. But do you know what I mean? It's like they're just trying to sell us fucking cheap shit.
Yeah. Whereas the Americans interfere with every election. They're just always fucking around with everything. They control politicians and stuff. They've got the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, which, I mean, you know, you got the people who say, well, it's a certain tribe. But my point is, well, it doesn't really matter, because America's the hammer that they're using. So I don't really care who's holding the hammer. It's the hammer is still America.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, if you look at the American Civil War, right, you had the South versus the North, and it really was a repeat of the English Civil War.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of people, right?
Yeah.
The same. I mean, it's almost a reflection of the Viking invasions. So if you want to go way back, it's also a reflection of the Viking invasions, where you had Alfred the Great versus the Danelaw, right? I mean, it's the same story over and over again. Freedom versus slavery is what it is.
Yeah. But the Union were the slavers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's been a great chat, Tharium. Thank you so much for coming on the Rob Show. How do you feel about the whole thing?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Except for your one moment where you just leave me alone, and I'm just not prepared for that. I don't do solo talks to camera.
You can't.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! What
you
do I
can't
do
do
now?
monologues. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know, bro. I had to see a man about a dog. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
See, this is why Australians will never take over the world. We need our overlords
the
to
reason
step
is,
in.
the reason is because you can't even beat some emus. So
Yeah. So I'd be interested in this. What would be the ultimate strategy to defeat the emus? Do you know much about the whole war?
So there was like you're trying to. There was like a line. You had like a big like line that you were trying to clear them out from or something. And then they just
there was a bunch of farmers and pastoralists, and they were trying to make their way in the world, and the emus were invading, right? And they were kicking down fences and so on. And so eventually they what's the word? They whatever the Australian army turned up,
yeah,
with like two or three fucking World War One machine guns.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
This is plenty for an emu, though.
did, yeah. And because the local farmers were just not killing that many emus. Turns out emus can run really fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the army turned up and just started laying down fire. And literally, it was like they killed like maybe 2 or 3 emus or some shit. But one of them like died of dehydration getting there because it was like a really like desert area and so on. And they left one of the guns, and then there was this rumor that an emu like picked up a gun, which is also bullshit.
That's true.
But either way, like the emus just won because we were like, nah, fuck it.
They started attacking the they attacked this.
Yeah, so that's the story.
I mean, you'd think machine guns would work against emus. Are you saying how do you beat the emus? I'd say the machine gun's a good start. The fact you failed that, I don't think there's any coming back from that.
Well, hold on. How would you? Okay,
you get the machine gun. Right?
If you didn't have, wait. I think I know the solution. I think we need to corral the camels against the emus. I think that's where we need to go.
What happens when they form an alliance though against you, and you have the camel emu war?
Well, then we just say it's the great game, and this is a land war, and we're not involved, and we get on the ships.
The emus will ride the camels.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Did I say that out loud? Oh shit! I'm gonna have to cut this.
I was gonna say something that I remembered you on Australia, and that'll probably get you in a lot of trouble. So I won't.
All right. Keep running around in the woods, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Worship the tree people. Become an ant, and eventually Sauron, or well, Sauron. I think Sauron is Netanyahu, right? And I think who is Saruman? I think Saruman is Keir Starmer, possibly Trump. Who do you think Saruman is in our modern world? Who found the great seeing stone?
Is it Benjamin Netanyahu?
I think he's Sauron, but yeah.
Yeah.
But who? My question was, who is Sauron? Who's the guy that looked into the stone
Well,
and is working for the Dark Lord?
Larry Ellison might be that. He's
Okay.
you know, he's got all his like spy tech and all the stuff spying everywhere with
Right.
Oracle. And he is working for Benjamin Netanyahu, so
Right, yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Tharium, thank you so much for being on Chats with Rob 2.0. And you don't have a Twitter, you don't have anything really. Well, you have a Twitter. But you know, people can find Tharium. He's he is the ultimate kind of English rural dweller that we all love and look up to. And we wish we could just like run around in the woods with a stick, right?
Yeah. I also wish I could have, I wasn't born it, but I feel like I should have been nobility because I really just want to oppress peasants. I feel like this is in my soul. I was meant to be oppressing peasants. This is my life's calling.
Have you ever done like your ancestry.com or whatever?
No, but I had a cousin who did some genealogy back in the day, so I know some stuff. Yeah.
And you didn't descend from lords, or
the Duke of Wellington was a great uncle.
There we go.
And then he went back, and then this guy, he went back to Sir Richard Parsons, who was one of Richard the Lionheart's bodyguards in the Crusades.
I mean, Kemper is old English for champion or soldier, or like even like in really obscure circles in like Scandinavia, Kemper means like champion of the light, or light champion, or bright person. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, Harold Hardrada?
Yeah.
And you know about the Battle of Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
So he was like the last Viking in air quotes, right?
He was an absolute Giga Chad.
He was an absolute Giga Chad. Absolutely. Right. So this is kind of my point. I mean, Godwinson in the Battle of 1066, the only reason they lost that battle was because he was unfortunately hit in the eyeball with an arrow, which was almost a freak accident, right? And so the British, the English, they could have been free, but for some reason God or the fates didn't want that to happen, and now we eternally struggle. Right? Because, I mean, he had his house skulls, his house guard, and so on, at his right hand, but, he was hit in the head with a fucking arrow. So, by the way, do you know about Henry V, right?
Yeah.
So he also had an arrow through the head. You know about this, right?
Yeah.
And they literally invented a surgical tool to take the arrow out. And this is the reason why all of his portraits are on the side of his face, because he had like horribly scarred face on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yet he won like fucking Agincourt, right? Which was one of the greatest battles of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
If anyone's concerned if English people do things, just fucking research Agincourt, one of the most incredible events of all time.
I mean, as far as white people go, we are easily the most successful when you look at all our colonies and stuff around the world still.
Yeah.
There's more of us than any other breed of white people, any of the other
I
Europeans.
think we've answered our own question. I think this is why certain people in a certain land,
Yeah.
they know Morgoth's acolytes. I think this is why they are so jealous of us.
Yeah. Yeah. If you wanted to, we are the ultimate enemy that everyone should be afraid of. We're in a bad spot at the moment, but we will get it back. I'm not a doomer about stuff. I do believe we are going to win, but it's probably going to be hard. Like, it is not going to be just.
But that's also where we thrive. We thrive when it's hard. I mean, look at Alfred the Great. I mean, he was living in a bog. Literally, he was cast out of Mercia and the other one. Was it Mercia? No. You know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he lived in a fucking marsh for like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he came back and claimed his kingdom. I mean, if anyone can struggle, it's us.
Yeah. There's some people who say 2029 is the last chance, and the last chance is reform. I'm glad I don't believe that. Like, whatever happens with the elections, it's not over. Maybe we won't be voting our way out of things, but it's not going to win.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to end the space, but I'm just so like I'm so into historicism. So like one of the great sort of like mysteries of England is actually they did own France. They actually did for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is kind of what the French never kind of realized, right? The French kind of they hate on this idea that the English, because of William the Conqueror and blah blah blah. It's like, nah, bro. I mean, half of Aquitaine was English. Most of the coast was English. Like, it was English, bro. Sorry, French people. We already owned that land. So anyway,
there's the stuff about hardship. I quite like the old Anglo-Saxon poetry. I'm not a big poetry person, but there's really, you see just like that spirit in there, in the sort of the old Anglo-Saxon stuff. Like, there's this one line I really like from the Battle of Maldon, which is when the Saxons they're fighting this Viking force, and they agreed to let the Vikings land, because they think, well, we've got to fight honorably, so they let them cross this river rather than just killing them in the river, which would have been easy. And the battle goes south for them, and the Saxons start losing. And in the line, there's one of them says, the mind must be harder, the heart keener, spirit must be the greater as our strength diminishes. Just that sort of just, you're facing this defiance in the face of oblivion. That's great. That is.
Oh yeah. Dude, that fired me up. Yeah. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, Tharium. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll end it here, but fucking check out Tharium on Twitter and shit. If anyone fucking listens to this space or whatever, it's not a space, it's a YouTube live.
Me and Mercian are working on getting an Anglo Gang sort of stream going up again.
Hells yeah, brother. Let's fucking go. Well, I was going to end it, but your chat with Claire was hilarious.
Oh, man. I think we might have to deport Claire Core.
Yeah, I also agree. I think you should deport her back to Singapore or wherever the fuck. Malaysia, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chinese, they belong in their own country, and they'd be happier for it. I think they'd be happier for it.
Oh, that reminds me. This talking of Claire, I saw this the other day. You can share that.
What are we doing now?
So you see, they've got these goats. Yeah, and they're in this house with this Arab man, this nice Muslim man, and the goats choose the fire rather than living with the Muslim man. I mean, we know why. We know why the goat chooses the fire over the Muslim.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus. Imagine being a goat in a fucking in a Muslim. All right. Well, thank you, Tharium. Great fucking ending to the stream. All right, we're gonna have to end. Thank you so much, brother. We'll maybe catch up later or whatever.
Yep.
All right.
I was also thinking of asking Brutus because he believes every conspiracy.
Still talking. I was trying to end the stream, Tharium.
So what so he loves his conspiracy theories. He's a big Pizzagate guy. The Epstein stuff seems to confirm Pizzagate. So I was thinking maybe we could do a stream with him, just going over some of the new Pizzagate stuff. I've got to ask him about that though.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, maybe on his channel.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. This was Tharium. Chatroulette 2.0 ending stream now.